Sarah, no last name, just the girl who has memorized every single detail of this house since she was 7 years old. Every floorboard that creaks, every light switch that sticks, every exact way the late afternoon sun spills across this bedroom at 4:47 p.m. on a quiet Saturday. Sits perfectly, painfully still on the very edge of Mark's unmade bed at 4:47 p.m. on the first full afternoon of being 18, knees pressed so tightly together, her legs are trembling, hands folded in her lap like she's praying, drowning in the oversized cream hoodie he handed her last December when she forgot hers on purpose. The one she has slept in exactly 196 nights in a row. The one she washed at 3:19 a.m. with shaking hands so she could wear it today without smelling like a thief. Heart beating so violently she's certain the brass lamp on the nightstand is pulsing in time. The room is exactly the way it's lived in her head since the night she turned 16 and realized wanting him wasn't going away. Soft, gray-blue walls that somehow always feel like dusk even in daylight. Late afternoon sun pouring through half-open white curtains in long, lazy bars of peach and gold, cedar and pine soap and warm cotton, and the faint ghost of coffee and fresh-cut grass in the air. Sheets still rumpled from this morning, one corner kicked loose the way he always does. Pillow still carrying the perfect indent of his head. One lone navy sock abandoned on the floor like it gave up halfway through the night. His phone face down on the nightstand next to a glass of water with exactly one sip missing and a faint lipstick print on the rim that is definitely hers from 2 weeks ago. The quiet hum of the house settling around her like it's leaning in to listen. The breeze moving the curtains just enough to make the light dance across the duvet, like it's nervous too. She didn't mean to sit on the bed. The plan was simple. Use the spare key under the fake rock, same spot since she was 9, and lost her key in a water balloon war. Call his name once in the kitchen, once at the stairs, once in the hallway. If no answer, wait on the couch like a normal human being. But the couch felt too big, the kitchen felt too bright, the living room felt too full of every almost they've ever lived through. So her feet carried her straight here, the quietest room in the entire house, the one that has always felt like the center of gravity, the one place where words might finally feel brave enough to come out. She sat on the very edge, then she scooted back an inch, then another, until she was properly on the bed, knees drawn up, hoodie sleeves, swallowing her hands, staring at the pattern in the duvet like it held the right order of syllables. She rehearsed the sentence 1,000 ways in her head. I'm 18 now, I love you, I'm tired of pretending this hoodie is enough. I'm here because I'm allowed to be. None of them all sounded too small or too huge or too everything, so she waited and said nothing and let the silence stretch until it felt like its own language. Footsteps on the stairs, slow, familiar, socked feet on hardwood, third stair creaking, fifth stair creaking, the tiny pause on the landing he always does when he thinks no one's listening. The door opens without a knock. Mark stops dead in the doorway, hair still damp and curling at the ends from the quick shower after yard work, plain black t-shirt clinging to his shoulders, faded jeans with fresh grass stains on one knee, green-gray eyes going wide, 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 then impossibly soft, then dangerously, beautifully warm. Sarah? His voice is gentle, low, laced with that rasp that always pulls heat low in her stomach. He doesn't move for a long second, just studies her like she's a miracle he's terrified to scare off. Why are you sitting on my bed and not saying anything? She looks up at him, cheeks burning hotter than the sunlight on the floor, hands twisting in the sleeves of his hoodie until her fingertips vanish completely. I just turned 18, she whispers, the words trembling but refusing to break. And I didn't know how to start. I tried every version in my head on the walk over and they all came out wrong. So I came to the only room that's ever felt quiet enough to hold it, and I sat here and waited. Because I was scared if I opened my mouth downstairs, I'd chicken out again. He steps into the room, slow, deliberate, like the air is made of spun glass, and lets the door click shut behind him. The sound is soft but final, like the closing of every rule they've ever obeyed. You could have called, he murmurs, but there's no scolding. Just wonder like he's been waiting for this exact moment since the night she fell asleep on his couch at 16, and he sat awake, counting her breaths. She shakes her head, the tiniest movement. No. Phones lie, texts get deleted. I needed to be here, in this room, on this bed, with the light exactly like this and the breeze moving the curtains and your sock on the floor and your pillow still warm. I needed to say it where the walls already know every secret I've ever kept. Another step closer. He's at the foot of the bed now, close enough that she can see the faint sawdust still clinging to his forearm, the tiny grass flecks on his jeans, the way his pulse is hammering at the base of his throat like it's trying to sprint straight into her hands. "Say what?" he asks, voice scraped raw with 2 years of restraint. She stands, slowly like the world might tilt, and closes the last small distance until she's right in front of him, close enough to feel the warmth rolling off his skin, close enough to see every fleck of green and gray in his eyes. "I love you," she says, simple and steady and 2 entire years overdue. "I've loved you since I was 16 and terrified, and you made the world quiet just by letting me fall asleep on your couch. I've loved you through every borrowed hoodie and every almost touch, and every night I fell asleep pretending the guest room was close enough. I've loved you every single day I wasn't allowed to say it. And I'm 18 now, Mark. And I needed to sit on your bed in the quiet and wait until the words felt brave enough to come out." The silence that follows is soft and golden and infinite and perfect. Mark closes his eyes for one long, trembling second, like he's letting the words sink into every place he's kept locked since the day she turned 16. Then he opens them again, shining, unashamed, full of everything he's never been allowed to give her, and cups her face with both hands, gentle, reverent, shaking just enough to make her heart crack wide open. "I love you too," he whispers, voice breaking on every syllable, like relief and joy and terror all at once. "I've been waiting for you to sit exactly here and say exactly that since the first night you fell asleep with your feet in my lap and I realized I was never going to be the same. I've loved you every single day I had to pretend I didn't. And now you're here and the light's perfect and I never want you to leave this bed, this room, this life with me ever again." The kiss is soft, slow, sunlit, breeze-kissed, and perfect. Like the first honest breath either of them has taken in 730 days, like the first page of the rest of their lives written in warm cotton and late afternoon light. Sarah winks at the camera, phone propped on the dresser where it's been recording since 4:46 p.m., battery clinging to 4%, red light still valiantly glowing, hoodie sleeve slipped completely off one shoulder and never going back up, late afternoon sun spilling gold across both of them, his hand still cradling her face like she's the only thing he ever wants to hold. The sock still abandoned on the floor, like it knows its work here is done. And that's the full, uncut, heart-exploding, 2-year wait, quiet bedroom, late afternoon sun, sitting on his bed without a single word. Avocado socks, spare key under the fake rock, grass-stained jeans story of the afternoon I turned 18, and finally let the silence speak first. Some truths are too big for words until you're sitting exactly where you belong, and then they just fall out like they've been waiting their whole lives for this bed. Like subscribe, ring the bell, comment the quietest place you ever said the loudest thing. Just turned 18, just sat on his bed and waited, and he finally said it back. And the room has never felt more like home.